Japan's Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba has announced his resignation, saying this is the right time for him to step down as president of the Liberal Democratic Party and the Prime Minister of the country.
This time around, I have decided to resign from the position of President of the Liberal Democratic Party.
Ishiba's reign came under fire after July upper house election loss. The party has been racked by weeks of internal wrangling. Rivals within his LDP party were pushing for fresh elections. Lawmakers were scheduled to gather at the party headquarters on Monday, but the vote now stands futile. The party vote could have brought the internal divide out in the open. Ishiba's resignation has avoided the public fallout. Now the party will hold a leadership race to elect a new prime minister. There are several names doing rounds in the race to replace Ishiba. The most prominent name is Sanae Takaichi. Ishiba narrowly defeated her in last year's LDP leadership runoff. Next up is former Economic Security Minister Takayuki Kobayashi. Both are expected to throw their hat for the country's top office. Some of Ishiba's cabinet members, such as Farm Minister Koizumi and Chief Cabinet Secretary Yoshimasa Hayashi, have also been seen as Prime Minister hopefuls.
Speaking generally, I think Ms. Takaichi would immediately come to mind, but perhaps it's also necessary, especially in times like these, for someone a bit unexpected to emerge from within the ranks.
There's a two-step process to select Ishiba's replacement. One takes place at party level, the other takes place in the parliament. Party votes to elect president who is a de facto candidate for the prime ministership. Then both houses of parliament will vote to elect the next prime minister. Since LDP does not have a majority in either house, it is not guaranteed that the LDP president will become prime minister. If the parliament failed to choose one leader by majority, the runoff will continue until agreement is reached. In the meantime, outgoing cabinet continues its duties as caretaker government. Whoever takes the baton from Ishiba will face a fractured house. The policy paralysis that paralyzed Ishiba government is likely to remain in place. Currency market is also under pressure. Concerns over political uncertainty led to a sell-off in Japan's yen and its government bonds last week.
With all the issues around taxes and so on, I really hope for a kind of politics that makes life easier for everyone. Not something biased toward a specific group, but politics that is broad and inclusive, something that can help a wide range of people.
Economic hardships combined with political stalemate could force the next prime minister to call a snap election if Japan goes down that path. It will be a second election for the country's top office in less than a year. Benoit Hardy Chandran is a lecturer and researcher, Temple University, Japan. He is now joining us from Tokyo. Benoit, thank you very much for your time and welcome to WION The World as One. Give us a sense of the reactions word on the streets of Tokyo, the naysayers following Shigeru Ishiba's change of heart and now saying that he will resign.
Yeah, absolutely. This is something that people were calling for a long time. The approval rates of Prime Minister Ishiba were now former Prime Minister Ishiba. Well, he will remain Prime Minister until the party chooses the new leader. But the approval rates were very low. He had been presiding over two major election losses. The first election loss only a month after he became Prime Minister last fall, where the party lost its majority in the lower house. And now just 2 months ago, where the party, the LDP, lost its majority in the upper house. So it's been a very, very difficult year, or not even a year yet, actually, at this point, for Prime Minister Ishiba. And the pressure was mounting very fast. There had been many important figures in the LDP that had been calling for his resignation or for a vote in order to decide if he was to carry on. The pressure was really impossible for him to resist. resist. In fact, I think many people in Japan, the people I've spoken to, the people, regular Japanese people, were surprised that he stayed as long as he did, considering the amount of pressure. So the fact that he finally stepped down today, less than 2 months after the second election defeat for his party, or debacle, was something that was seen as a long time coming.
So what happens next? Many critics say it's going to be a chaotic road ahead for the nation and there could be a leadership crisis in Japan. Do you foresee that happening? And what's your view on potential contenders?
Yeah, well, we're talking about uncertainty here, but this uncertainty has been ongoing for several years, ever since former Prime Minister Abe, Shinzo Abe, who finished basically his last term in 2021 after a record-breaking, the longest tenure in post-war Japanese history. Since then, it's been a succession of prime ministers, and we've had already. The next one is going to be the fourth prime minister since the end of Abe Shinzo's reign over Japan. So this really illustrates how unstable Japanese politics have been. And this is just a continuation of what we have seen. So the road ahead is going to be very difficult indeed. There is going to be calls for uniting the party, probably around somebody who would be in a better position to unite the party, but also do more to unite the country, because trust in Japanese political elites has never been as low as it is now. To answer your second question about who might succeed Ishiba, well, you mentioned in your introduction some of the top candidates. Last time there was an LDP election for the leader of the LDP, Sanae Takaichi came as one of the top contenders. I would say one that we have to look for, and you did mention him a few minutes ago, is the agriculture minister, Koizumi. And the reason for that is Koizumi is by far the youngest of all the possible candidates. He is 44 years old, which is very young for Japanese politics, which tends to, all prime ministers tend to be usually easily over the 60s or 70s. So that would be a breath of fresh air, might unite, especially bring more younger Japanese people to support the party, because recently Japanese young people have been really disaffected, not only from politics, but especially from the LDP. So I think the candidates will have to watch for Takaichi, of course, Koizumi that I just mentioned, the former economic minister Kobayashi. Those are three of the top candidates, I would say, for the time being.
Mr. Benoit, we'll have to leave it there. Thank you very much for talking to us today.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.